We'll do a live update on my personal ad account spending $45,000 per month. You'll see the ad account directly, which ads are working, which ads are not working, what audiences are working, what campaign setup I'm currently using, and all the nuances and the small details so you can copy and paste it for your business. That's a VSL call funnel. You'll see how many calls are being generated, the over and or slash under reporting from Meta ads, and you'll see my WAP dashboard as well to see how much money I'm actually bringing in, and you see all the dates live and etc. Before we get right into the video, currently in Hawaii, we moved to the Rosewood, so Big Island. I prefer this much better than the Four Seasons. We were in the Four Seasons 2 days ago. But yeah, we're enjoying the Rosewood, much more quieter, less people, less commercial, which is great, very good peace of mind. And we did a helicopter ride yesterday. So just want a quick reminder, treat out your loved ones, even if it's, a small helicopter ride, which is pretty cool. It's my first time. I would say it's overrated, and it's very dangerous because it's such a small vehicle compared to, let's say, you're flying a big plane like a 747. Yeah, helicopters are so small, so it's okay. All right, let's hop right into the video. So let me grab my laptop and then I'll screen share my Loom. So on the last video, you saw me build the ad account, the ads live, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, which is cool. So let's see how much money we've spent so far. So this is my internal tracking sheets. We've spent a total, we are on pace to spend $1.5 thousand per day. We usually average around $1,000 per day. So let's see how much money we spent so far. November 1st, we spent 1.4. Yesterday or today, we spent 1.8 thousand. Let's see if this is true from yesterday. Yesterday we spent $1.4 thousand, and then today we spent $1,800 and 16 bucks. Okay, so you can see how many type forms or how many applicants we got. We got 29 total. I manually calculate this. Cost per application is $111. You have to understand my industry is hyper sophisticated. It's one of the most competitive industries out there. So if my ads are doing well with this setup, and then we use it for your setup where it's less competitive, it's gonna crush, because my industry is very tough. So expect inflated numbers in terms of cost per book call, cost per application, and also your cost per acquisition. So mine's a very competitive industry, but also my investment fee right now is quite premium. It's at 25,000. When we first started, it was at 15,000. Then we got volume, so we pushed it up to 20,000. Now it's at 25,000, and as we get more volume, we're going to increase that investment even further, just by 5,000, depending on what the close rate is, because our goal is to actually work with less amount of people, but higher quality people, so we can keep the performance or the performance for all our clients or partnerships very high. We're not an agency where we're focusing on volume. If we were focusing on volume, like that would be like 200 clients, which is something I don't want. Okay, so let's see the internal metrics, and I'll show you the ad account itself. So this is Facebook stats. It's broken down by the internal tracker, how much the day, and then the blue is the week aggregates, how much we're spending, what's the type form, what's the cost per application, the amount of calls that we're getting, and the cost per book call. So on Facebook data, you can see we got 12 calls at a cost per book call at $268, which is decent. For my industry, cost per book call that I'm happy with is around $360 to $380. My 2x ROAS on cash collect is $970. So if I want to be at a 2x ROAS minimum, I got to be close to $1,000 cost per qualified book call that shows up, which is very expensive. But if I'm at 380, 360, I'm pretty happy with it. So that's what Facebook showcases. But the total backend, this is how many calls we actually got. Because like we zap in all the calls that we get on Calendly and we put it on Slack, so we can actually manually count how many calls we get, because Meta is going to be over/under reporting for some days. As we can see here, we got an actual total of 19 calls. So we got 19 calls. 5 of these were unqualified. So on day 1, we got 10 calls. 2 of them were unqualified. Second day, we got 9 calls. 3 of them were unqualified. So from there, you can see like an average for this type of funnel setup, this type of ICP, this type of AOV. What's the lead quality score? Decent, could still be improved upon. This will give me a true cost per qualified book call, because this is going to account for any calls that are non-qualified. Gives me a true cost per qualified book call, CPQBC, at 169. And here you can see the type form to call. So how many type forms we got to how many calls that we got. We're roughly at a 41.38% conversion rate, which is decent. It's not a red flag yet. A red flag would be like 20%. So if we get 10 type forms, we get 2 calls, which is really bad. We typically aim for like a 55 to 60% type form to call, but it's still just 2 days of data, or like day and a half. So we'll really see. And so that's the volume of calls that we're getting. That's the quality score. So 19 calls, we got 5 unqualified, 169 cost per qualified book call. And then right now, in terms of how much money we made so far, we've generated $32,000 cash collect. Some deals are in ACH, so they're gonna take some time to come through. But yeah, we spent $3.2 thousand, generated $32,000, 750 bucks at a 1.6. But we're still waiting on a few payments to come through ACH. To cross-reference, here's WAP. Last 7 days, we're at 42,250. We got a payment at 16,500 today, and we should be expecting more via ACH. Should take a few days. So that's how much money we spent, how much money we made at a 10.17x ROAS on cash collect. So actual money collected. So those are the internal stats. And let's go through the ad and also live WAP account for extra proof. Now let's go to the ad account. So we have the ads here. I showcased all the build out here so you can understand like the thought process live, and also we did the scripting live as well, so you can understand my thought process. It's one of the videos a few days ago. So let's go to the ad accounts. You can see here. Also, when you look at the stats here, we have to understand that the data here is underreporting. So let me do a refresh. Meta is a bit buggy sometimes. Okay, so if we can see here, we actually have 19 calls, not 12. So Meta, if we look at it, is underreporting. So that's why I'm not turning it off. I'm not turning on anything off right now. We can see each ad set is spending $500 per day. So $1,500 per day is the average that it should be spending. I have a 3-day rule. So I launch the ads, 3 days, 72 hours. I don't touch anything at all. I don't optimize anything for 3 days. I want to give it enough data because sometimes there's delayed attribution on some of the calls and Meta is underreporting. So I don't touch it. So I'm not going to touch the ads till an additional 24 hours. Because if you can see here, if we spent $500 and each ad set spent $1,000, that means these ads were only running for 2 days straight. We spent $3.2 thousand. Okay, so we can see what's the best performing audience so far. You can copy and paste it for yourself. This is for a hyper competitive industry. Don't if I see $1,000 cost per book call, I'm not worried right now because it hasn't been 3 days, and also Meta is underreporting right now. That's why I track actual amount of calls coming through. Okay, so you can see what's the top performing audience based on the amount of calls that we're getting. We can see this audience. So we're doing a lookalike stack at 10%. We built it out live. We're doing an interest stacked. We built this audience live as well, so you can see the specifics. And we're doing broad top 5 geo. We can see business stack is crushing it. It's at 9 calls at $100 and $116 cost per book call. Very, very good. So let's see what's working. Well, let's actually look at the audiences so you guys can copy and paste it if you are in the business space or if you even have like a high ticket offer. So we're using inclusions. So we have exclusions for everything. 18 plus, male and female, top 5 geo, Australia, Canada, UK, New Zealand, and US. We have my exclusions, nothing crazy. Languages, UK, US, automatic placements, especially for a VSL call funnel. Detailed targeting, small business, coaching, lead gen, digital marketing, SMBs, marketing, startup company, marketing strategy, entrepreneurship, business, online ads, advertising, home biz, advertising campaign, advertising agency, or B2B. Behaviors, small business owners, job title, business owner, founder, director, CEO, owner, and CEO, or managing director. Basically, as much business-related keywords as possible or audiences as possible. If I could put more, that'd be great. Estimated audience size is 184 million to 216 million. Nothing crazy. And that's the one performing well. I just let the data do the talking. I'm gonna let it run for an additional 24 hours. Okay, so now we know the audience that's working well so far in the last 2 days. Still very, very early. Now let's check out the best performing ad. So we have the 3 ad sets all selected. Let's go to the ad level to see what's the best performing one. I have a specific naming convention for all my ads. I have 87 active ads right now. This is just 28 ads per ad set, so it's technically just 28 unique ads. So let's look at the best performing one. So $18 cost per book call, $37 cost per book call, $61, $112, $2, $270, $132, $4, $116, $85. Seems like 107 is doing well, 112 is doing well. Let's see if there's any repeated patterns. 87, 90, 111, 109. No, there's nothing repeated. Okay, so I can see that these are the 2 best performing videos. So the difference here is going to be either the hook, the bridge, and the body is going to be the same. So let's check out these 2 performing video ads, because this is an $18 cost per book call for a hyper competitive industry, saturated industry. So let's watch it through right now.
9K, 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 5K, 9K, 4K, all in the last few days. Every payment here is from a B2B high-ticket business.
So that's the hook. So it showcases like proof. Then we mentioned with the bridge, which is every payment here is from a B2B high-ticket business. So we're doing hyper-specific key, like direct call out.
That had traffic. What they lacked was a...
And then from there on the bridge, I mentioned the problem that they have, which is...
backend that filtered buyers before the call.
Filtered, which is lead quality.
Every client you just...
Okay, now let's look at video VV112. Let's see what's the difference of the video.
9K, 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 5K, 9K, 4K, all in the last few days.
I think that was a Stripe one, not a WAP one. I did a split test between the hooks for Stripe and WAP. Okay, now let's look at the bridge, what the bridge is.
This is what happens when your marketing runs like a department.
Marketing that runs like a department.
Ads feed the funnel. Funnel filters the buyers.
That goes straight to the body.
9K, 9K,
let's watch it again.
9K, 9K, 5K, 9K, 4K, all in the last few days. This is what happens when your marketing runs like a department. Ads feed the funnel. Funnel filters the buyers, and automations pre-sell. And tracking closes the loop. Every client...
Interesting. So that wasn't too direct. That was more of like an indirect type bridge. And then this is like where it goes to the body. It was like 16 seconds through.
Every client you just...
So when it mentions every client you saw, that is the body. So those are my internal metrics. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys can get some learnings as well. You can even just like pause wherever so you can see what the actual soft metrics I'm experiencing for a hyper competitive industry. 2% CTR all, CPC at $5, landing page cost per landing page view is $10. Nothing crazy. I don't see any red flags. CPM for my industry, $125. That'll be expensive for some industries. That'll be cheap for some industries, but you can see like a gauge in what's working well for me. So hopefully this gives you an update. This is just a day and a half in. We spent $3,200. We got 19 book calls at a $169 cost per book call, and we've generated roughly $32,000, $32,750 so far at a 10.17x ROAS. But yeah, hopefully you guys can learn something. Anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram. I send over any selfie videos or any voice notes so I can help anything in relation to marketing. Anyways, much love and talk soon. Bye guys.